it's really hard to believe that Cremonese, new promoted team, won against the 7 times European champions in San Siro. In San Siro. After a horrible season that was last season, because last season was horrible, I was expecting tonight to see a little bit of pride, to see the fireworks out from San Siro, you know? Goals, Asting, finally. Instead, we saw Baschirotto doing a bodybuilding pose, and we saw, what's the other guy? Bonazzoli with an incredible bicycle goal in our own box. It's unreal. I can't still believe in this, guys. We have so many topics today to talk about. Of course, the match. Of course, the community, Old Heart community exploded against different players. We're gonna read some of the comments and gonna play some analysis on that. We need to talk about the situation of Boniface, because apparently it's a no-go. I think it's very clear for every single Milan fan that last night watched the match how important it is for this team to have a substitute to Santiago Giménez. Santi that recently it seems a ghost. He cannot protect the ball, he cannot shoot, he cannot run faster. His ball control is horrible right now. We clearly need a help for Santi. Of names, the Pavlović, the Harder, but of course Furlanino always is looking for the cheapest option. Now, what is the cheapest option? Is this year 5-6 million, next year maybe, if we like it, we give you another 20-25. The perfect name, it is called Victor Boniface. Now, I'm not talking about the skills and the quality of the players, because what he did in the last few years in Leverkusen, it was incredible. The deal itself. Of course, for Furlanino, this was the best idea. Only 5 million now, and maybe 20 later. Now, when he arrived in Milan, of course, they need to do the medical check, because he has some history. Okay. Now, just to give you a heads up, 2019, he skipped 34 games. In 2021, 56 games. In 23-24, 23 games. I'm not saying days, I'm saying games. Okay, remember that the full season in Campionato of Serie A, it is 38 match. Last season, okay, 24-25, he skipped 1 match, 7 match, 4 match, so it's a total of 8, 9, 10 match skipped. Okay, so of course Milan wanted to double check how's the status of Boniface. And apparently, this is the first time in a very long time that I hear that a player comes, he does the check, medical test, and then they recall him the day after to do other tests. Maybe they saw that there was something wrong. They were looking for endurance. They were looking for somebody that can give us at least a 30 match a season. But nothing. It is a news. I think he flew back to Germany, but I think it's quite a news that Boniface is not coming to Milan because he's not fit. So, dear Furlanino, your strategy didn't work. Now Milan is gonna go back on the same track of Højlund, of Harder, and Vlahovic. The thing that annoys me a little bit that sometimes it is associate Vlahovic with Juventus, and in exchange they want to have Saelemaekers. Players that I think Allegri, but even last year Fonseca, loved him. Okay, so I'm wondering, why will you exchange it? Because for them, above the club itself, for the management, is just playing like a monopoly. I move this one a little bit, I move that over there, I can save this money, I can save there. So my biggest complaint here, it's not, I mean, I believe in the quality of the player, I believe in Yashari, I believe in definitely in Modrić, I believe in Ricci, I believe in a lot of Not all of them, but a lot of the players that we having. But what I'm criticize is that, okay, now we sold almost 200 millions of players, but we spend only what? Not even 80, 90 millions this summer. Why don't we reinvest? Why don't instead we sold Chow for 40? Why don't we actually do the upgrade to buy a young talent that has a value of 40 millions? Why we don't do the upgrade? Why always we have to do an instant team? Something that it's good now for this season, maybe in the next one, and then we already feeling like we're gonna sell it. The renders, there was not even a. How long was the deal? How long would they been talking for renders? The news came out. Manchester City comes to Milan. He bought it what, in a couple of days? Meanwhile, with Musa, that the value with Musa instead, Napoli, Everton, Nottingham Forest, everyone is trying to get Musa, but no, we have to do the margin on top, because we bought it for 22 and we want to sell it for 28. But how can you sell 28 a player like Musa? Come on. Seriously. I don't know what to think anymore about this. Anyway, let me read some comments, because some of them, they're very funny. The big three are Santiago, Giménez, Fofana, and Loftus-Cheek. Okay, Estupinan, people didn't even look at him, because I don't know if he's actually I think it's a little bit early. But on Fofana and Loftus-Cheek and Santi, we already have quite a clear idea. Okay, I haven't seen a worse striker than Giménez in years. It's scandalous. It's terrible. It's unwatchable. Santi can stay on side when he scores, and he can't score with an open goal. Absolutely dreadful. Fruit seller. He can't handle the pressure. I should have slept. That's, I think, is the best comments. And if you were watching the match, I think this is the best way to describe it. It's, if you were watching this match, if you were not watching this match, that it didn't matter. We didn't see any spectacular things. We didn't see any news, anything different, I should have just slept, and I said, or replay another match from last season. Same. So it's unbelievable that Ricci was probably the most solid midfielder during pre-season, and Allegri leaves him on the bench. I don't understand. Santi is too slow and weak, and Loftus always fool us with a good pre-season and then a disaster in Serie A. No Leao, no party. Milan's performance tonight is a continuation of last week's performance, mainly a lack of efficiency in the final move. Between Fofana's performance, who constantly tried to fire long shots, and the Estupinan performance, who complete more backwards passes than forward ones, this Milan team is back with the same problem as last year, especially from a defensive standpoint. The coach will have to explain to us what he really intends to do with players like Ricci and Yashari over the course of the season, and finally find us a top-level striker and a central defender. Tonight, even though it's the first game of the season, I have the feeling that the season is already over for us, because we haven't found that glimmer of hope, whether from the players or the coach. Paolo Maldini saved us. Comments on this, I have to say that Estupinan, it was pretty frustrating to see him over there on the left. There was absolutely no chemistry with Pavlović. I think I don't want to talk too soon, because I'm still waiting Santiago Giménez, and I still want to wait Estupinan, because I saw some interesting stuff, but I haven't seen enough. I think the whole team, for the first 4 or 5 matches, we just need to see how it goes. We just need to take it as it is, not expecting any result. I will rather to solve every single problem that we have in the team now in the beginning of the season, rather than in March. Okay? So if Allegri has to work, I want to see him work and do mistakes now. So we all understood that probably last night instead of Fofana and Loftus-Cheek, maybe Ricci and Yashari should have played, because more quality in front of a close team, probably a very compact team like Nicola's team, it was better. This is that's. Now, what did you expect? We got rid of a top player and signed average players. Estupinan, Floptus, Cheek, and Pavlović. We keep selling top players and replacing them with 20-25 millions players that will take us nowhere. Even if they end up developing, we'll sell them before we can use them. Their development developed version. A manager whose tactics are outdated, selling Chow for 40 millions, but we will get an upgrade. No, it's another goddamn 20 million signing who will not amount to anything. I'm sorry to say that Santi will never get any better. Mexican national team is terrible in attack and still not enough to Santi to be a starting player. He can be a star in Eredivisie, but he's just not enough for Milan. Forza Milan from Mexico. Shocking results. But I know Allegri team always starts slow. But we need Ricci to always start. People underestimate how good Ricci it is. For me, Ricci and Yashari are starter, not Loftus-Cheek and Fofana. Estupinan looks horrible. I said it before, is our new Emerson Royal. No. Pavlović and Gabi are not good enough to be starters. I've said that multiple times. We cannot have them in the starting lineup. They are very average players. Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Fofana for 90 minutes is insane. No creativity, they can't pass. Clearly Allegri wants to bench them, including Santi, so he gave the 90 minutes to show they are not up to his standard. Nice one. Next match, the proper midfield will be in action. I hope so, brother. We renewed the whole midfield just to play Fofana. I don't get it. Also, Pulisic, I have to say, didn't play well. He needs to make runs in behind, but he's not. We need Luka Modrić and Yashari in the midfield. Also, clearly a new striker. I mean, we need to play Leao up front with someone who can destroy defenders, physically hold them back for Leao to make run. This was a shit show. I don't get why we play Fofana and Lotus. Chukwueze seems to have a lot of hunger and energy, which is one of the only positive takes away. As you can see, the accuracy of passes, they are quite high, okay? Both of them, they have 86 and 92 for Ruben. What is most shocking for two midfielders of their size and also of their style of play is this little number. Ground duels won for Fofana 2 out of 7. 2 out of 7. Loftus-Cheek ground duels won 3 out of 9. Aerial duels won Loftus-Cheek 0 out of 2. I really don't get it. This doesn't make any sense. How come the two most physical players in our team, they got the worst ground duels and aerial duels percentage? You play them for that reason to bring physicality, and you have completely opposite. Here is my take on Loftus-Cheek. We all know that he's on the first season with Pioli. We all saw something. And he showed to the entire Serie A something. But he's not his first rodeo. Not in Milan, neither in his career. And if he cannot find the stability in his training, in his physicality, his mentality, and his position in the field, I'm sorry to say, but maybe this is the wrong place for you. Or maybe this is the right place for you because we are a mess. So it's perfect. Pulisic is not Leao. Pulisic is not Leao because yesterday Allegri played Pulisic as a second striker in the position that Leao should be playing. Instead, guys, as you can see, Pulisic is not the first striker. Pulisic, as we know, he's best when he builds up. He's bad when he's a trequartista, but not as a falso nueve. Okay, so he has to be behind the striker. He has to be the one that plays the filtering, the filtering pass, the filtering pass. He has to be the one that cross. He has to be the one that shot from the distance. He has to be the one that creates the goal together with the Modrić, with Selemakers. It can be no. I didn't see him absolutely well when he was playing, especially in the second, on the first half, more on the wing, even though he's a winger. But Allegri asked him to play as a second striker, not as a winger. He didn't play a good match. Probably was the worst match that I've seen from Pulisic. I see, and there is this number that is quite scary for Pulisic, because if you can see his expected goals from Pulisic last performance, it is 0.10. If you open up Pavlović, you see expected goals 0.21. Now, a central defender have an expected goal higher than a striker. Something wrong. Something wrong. Something really wrong here. Okay? So let's keep this in mind. I don't want to believe that this is it. I don't want to believe that we're gonna see this shit show every single Sunday. Honestly, I'm happy that we're not getting Boniface, especially if it's broken, if it's not working. Hopefully we can get a different prospect. And I want to believe that in Lecce, next Friday, we come back to victory. Andiamo, dai.